Of all con men, Bernie Madoff is behind bars. Will his wife be the next to join him? It's been about 24 hours since Bernie Madoff himself was thrown in jail after he admitted that he orchestrated that $65 billion or so Wall Street scam, the biggest ever. Yesterday in court, Madoff was very careful to put all the blame on himself, and prosecutors and victims are not buying it. For 2 decades at least, Madoff admitted to swindling thousands of investors and somehow hiding the scheme from regulators. The feds assuming he couldn't have done it all by himself. That has led investigators to Ruth Madoff, who was reportedly closest to her husband both personally and professionally, which makes sense, after all, they're married. So now it's her turn in the scandal spotlight. Joining us now is Lucinda Franks, a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist and contributor to thedailybeast.com. Why do they want her?
They want her because she was involved.
How do we know that?
We know that because there is a whole bunch of circumstantial evidence. They are looking for hard evidence at the moment. But she was his bookkeeper. She had an office right next to him. She would have had to have looked at those falsified trades. They would have gone right under her nose.
See, what he said yesterday in his statement was that the money that everybody thought he was buying securities with, or most people thought he was actually going into a Chase Manhattan Bank branch. And if she was the bookkeeper, would she have been the one depositing those checks? So
I would think that she might well have.
We don't know that for sure.
We don't know that for sure, but I think that there's a very good possibility. She has been involved, you know, she's been less than a solid citizen.
They've been together, though, since high school, right?
Yes.
I mean, I think Bernie and Ruth Madoff met when they were like high school sweethearts.
They were high school sweethearts. They came from very modest background.
Where was that?
Laurelton, Queens. They paid $87 a month for rent for their first house in Bayside.
In Bayside, Queens.
Right.
Yeah,
and Ruth Madoff claims that the money that she wants to keep, which is, you know, $69 million, came from her own estate. And her parents left her $30,000, and she gave that to her sister. So she didn't come from money. This is not her money.
And she's had scandal in her life before, right?
She took out from a safe deposit box a whole bunch of expensive jewelry right after...
Like $1 million worth, right?
I believe so. And right after Bernie was confessed and sent it to relatives, she took out $15 million from a very suspect feeder fund called COMAD.
Well, who doesn't take out $15 million from time to time? But go on.
Well, these were known fraudulent funds, and the Massachusetts Secretary of State is investigating COMAD and investigating this.
So they're going after the whole family.
They are.
Going after the sons. They're going after everybody in the family because they're thinking it's like when a crime is committed. The first thing you look at is the family. That's where you look first.
Right.
It's not to say anybody's going to be found guilty, but that's where they're looking.
Exactly, and they are a very, very tight family.
I bet. Well, they were good at keeping secrets, it would appear, or somebody was. At least old Bernie was. It's good to see you, Lucinda. Thank you.
Good to see you.
All right.